Hey, Kathy.
Okay, so tonight we're going to talk to you about the City Nature Challenge for 2023. And this is in partnership with the Nature Conservancy of Florida. So we thank them for allowing us this opportunity to tell you about this great thing that you can do this weekend. So the City Nature Challenge is an international celebration of biodiversity in and around urban areas. And it started in 2016. It was a competition between San Francisco and Los Angeles. And this has grown into an international event that gets people excited about just going out and documenting what's around them. And this is a friendly competition now between cities, and to see who can gather the most observations of nature, and see how many people they can engage. So this is a really fun thing that you can do, and I'm going to show you how you can participate. So what is the City Nature Challenge? It's a global bio blitz challenge. It's community science. It's open source, so you can contribute to it. And if you're not sure what you're seeing, they will help you. So it's all good. It's an educational opportunity. There's things you could do if you're a teacher or you want to educate, a group of scouts or something like that. And it's community engagement, and it's very inclusive. So look at this, check this out. So the first year in 2016, there was 2 cities, and it has grown to 445 cities last year, from 1 country to 47 country, from 19.8 thousand participants to over 1.7 million. The species have grown, and the observers from 1,000 to 67,200. So it's really, really growing. So looking back at last year, 445 cities, there was over 1 million observations, over 50,000 species, over 67,000 participants. Check this out, including 2,244 rare or endangered species, and probably things that people had no idea was right in their backyard. So here's just some of the most commonly observed species. I guess dandelion wins for the most common one. That's interesting. And if you look in Florida off the coast, it was the hawksbill sea turtle. And I know these are really a little hard to read. And then on the West Coast, it was the osprey, and all kinds of interesting things. So, and this is on their website if you want to see this better. So in Orange County, there was 3,666 observations, over 1,000 species, over 500 identifiers. These are people that help to identify what's being seen. 268 observers. And we're going to beat that this year.
We've got to beat that this year.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll do it. So the most observed species for the past 2 years has been the brown anole. So you can report species whether they are native or non-native, because it's helpful to know what non-native things are there. That's very helpful to see how our biodiversity is. So I'm going to go through how to do iNaturalist, and this will be recorded, so you can go back and you can watch it at your leisure. So you're going to create an account, and you can do it on a phone. I think it's easier to do the account on a desktop. So you go to www.inaturalist.org, and you're going to click sign up until you have your initials. So you're going to create a username and a password, and it's all free. So if you're on the phone, and you can do this on your laptop as well, once you've signed up, it's really good if you get actually signed up into our local county city nature project. But if you have trouble with this step, you still can contribute. It will still count. So on your iPhone, it's located down here at the bottom right. And on Android, it's at the top, and it'll say projects. So you're just going to click on that. And you're going to search for project page. So if you type in City Nature Challenge 2023, it will come up, and you can click on it and you can join it that way.
And Kathy, Orange County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're from a different location, you can search out the closest one to where you are, because this is all over our country and international. Then you can select your county page if your county has one. Now, Orange County, Florida does have a county page, so be sure to sign up for that project. And a project just means that you're going to get informed, notified on different things that are happening concerning your project. And plus, it just catalogs your information a certain way. So here's our project homepage. And let me see. Let me click on my view. I'm seeing. So you'll see when I took a screenshot of this, there was nothing there because the project hasn't started. If you look at it tonight, there's not going to be any data because it'll start tonight at midnight. So then you'll start seeing people's data coming in on what they're seeing, which makes it a lot of fun.
And of course, it's 2023. We're looking at.
Yes. So to do iNaturalist, the best thing is to do it on your phone. So you set up an account and then you set up on your phone, or you just set up on your phone and you take pictures. That's simply all you do. So it can be a plant, it can be a fungus, it can be an insect, it could be an animal, it can be a trace of an animal. You could take pictures of feathers, footprints, any of that stuff. And so you just take a picture. And then next, we'll show you what you do. And then there'll be this little place that has your pictures here. And then there's a little place with a question mark. What did you see? Give it a moment. It's going to populate, and you click on that. And it's going to come up with possibilities based on your photo and location of what it could be. And sometimes it's very obvious that yours matches. Sometimes it's not so much. Like when you're dealing with things like mushrooms, it's really tough. But you can look and say, oh, I think it's this, and you click on it. Or if you know, like, oh, I know this is a monarch butterfly, you can just type it in and then it'll come up and you can click on it. But what happens, this gets sent out to the reviewers and they confirm or say, oh, no, I think it's this instead. That's kind of how it works. And it automatically, if you do it on your phone, will have the GPS and location, all that good stuff. All right. And so you'll see where you can sit. It'll say to share or submit your observation. Be sure you do that. And then off it goes. And then next, you see there's the share button. And so on this particular plant, I said, oh, it looks closest to this. Sometimes it's really hard. Like, you know, it could be a small little insect and you're not really sure. So just put in what you think it is. Because if you're wrong, they'll correct you. And so here is the page for Orange County, Florida. And you can see it starts tomorrow and it runs through Monday. And you'll be part of this challenge between these dates. You can do iNaturalist anytime, but for this particular city challenge, it's these dates. And you can see the Orange Audubon is one of the sponsors. And there's a lot of sponsors, Orange County Public Schools, all kinds of things. So here's some common questions. And yeah, Bree will answer that question at the end. So you can start making your observations at 12 a.m. local time up to, that's tomorrow, up to 11:59 p.m. local time on Monday. And anywhere in your county. Now, if you end up going, you know, you're traveling and you're at Fort DeSoto, you can still do it, but it won't count for Orange County. It will count for that county if they're doing one. And it'll still count globally, it'll still be part of the global. So can you upload photos that you took prior? Just maybe you got this awesome photo of a cedar waxwing and an Oriole, Baltimore Oriole. Your photo has to be taken from tomorrow through Monday. Otherwise, it doesn't count for this. You can put your photo in and it'll have the correct date, and that'll just be part of iNaturalist, but it won't count for the City Nature Challenge. So do you need to join the project for them to be included? No. Any observations that are made within a particular county or city count. You don't have to sign up to do it. So if you're having trouble joining the project, just do your observations, it'll count. What you'll miss out is you'll miss out on notifications and news posts, because if you join the project, that's what you'll be getting. Now, do you have to use the app? No, because you might, maybe you're a photographer and birds are hard to photograph using your phone unless you're doing digiscoping or something. And so if you have a great photo that you take, and so it's good, go out with your camera and you just have to know where you took the photo, because they're going to ask you that when you upload. So if you look here, there'll be a place on the website where it says you can add observations. It has that little plus mark, and that's where you're going to go do it. So like I had this picture of this peregrine. Of course, that wasn't done during City Nature Challenge because it's the wrong month. So we'll look at the next slide and see how it looks on the website. When you click that little add observations, you'll see where you can put your photos in. You can put sounds in. One time I was out and heard some cool frogs, had no idea what they were. So I recorded it on my phone and I shared it to my laptop, and then I put it into iNaturalist. And so the picture comes up, and then if like I said, well, I know that's a Cape May, I can just put that in. I can type that in, the details, and it automatically will know the date based from my camera, but I have to put in the location. It doesn't match that location up with your camera, at least not currently. And so next, if you should know like generally where you were. So if you were at Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive, you just type in the location, Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive, and then it'll come up, and then you click on it and you'll say update observations, because then you have your location. All right, so when you upload to your desktop, so here, like again, if you don't know what this particular animal is, you have the picture there, and the AI is going to come up with a list. And so you say, oh yeah, it's a Cape May. It looks just like that. And then you click on that, and then it's going to go ahead. You can submit your observation from there. And yeah, it'll have you can put the address in, and you can tag it. I don't do that, but there's a lot of other things you can do, but you simply just put in what you think it is. Remember, you can look at their suggestions. You can pick something from their suggestions, and then you hit the submit, which is like a green button. And then off it goes. And then what's going to happen, you have another page that you can look at. And this is where it has a little binocular sign. And it says observations. You can look at your observations, and you can see if it has a green, it says research grade. That means at least, I think it's about 3 people that are considered observers. They have looked at your observation and they agree with you. So then it can be used in research, because people that are doing research on all kinds of plants and animals, they can use iNaturalist to kind of see what's in your area. If it has yellow, needs ID, no one's looked at it yet. And, if you really get into this, you can become an observer. So you can go on the website and kind of explore how to do that, because they have like lots and lots of observations that come in that don't get looked at for a long time. So this is another cool thing. So there's another app that goes with this. And this was originally done for kids, but I know a lot of adults that like to use this, and I personally like to use it. It's called Seek. And it says Seek by iNaturalist. It's It's from the same organizations, which is National Geographic, and I think it's the California Academy of Sciences. And Seek is designed to be more user-friendly, kid-friendly, and it doesn't track your data. So that's a good and a bad thing. For kids, you don't want necessarily your data tracked. But the bad thing is it doesn't become part of the data. And so if we're wanting to add data by biodiversity, if you just simply do Seek, it doesn't go there. But you can sync your Seek with iNaturalist, and then it goes, so you could do both. The nice thing about Seek, it does do a little bit quicker job about like identifying a lot of things. And like I said, it's kind of kid friendly. There's like little like challenges they give you, like, okay, this month you want to look for like 10 insects. And so each time you do, it says, oh, you got 5 out of 6, that kind of thing. If you look at the settings on here, you can see where if you click to iNaturalist, you have an account, it's going to let you sync them up. So let's go to the next one. I'll show you how this works. So Seek is super easy. It just has this little camera here, and you can either use a photo you've already taken, or you can just use your camera, and then you take a picture. And I believe this picture, what I did, my phone doesn't take that good of a picture, as I took a picture on the back, from my back of my camera. And so it'll say identify photo, and this one came up right away, painted bunting. And if you notice, you have at the bottom button, it says post iNaturalist. That's how you can sync it and send that observation over. If you don't want to do that, that's okay too. And it has a button to view the species, and I'll tell you all about the species, and especially what I like to look at is native or non-native, especially with plants. It's very helpful.
Great job, Kathy.
All right.
And this is citizen science or community science, and the more people can get doing it, the better.
Now, do we want to go over the 2 questions before we go on to continuing?
Yes, sure.
Okay, good. So Bree was wondering, there was a picture you showed of the the Orange County City Nature Challenge. She was wondering, where can you get a copy of that brochure so she can share it in her office? And I'm
Oh,
not sure if that was a picture of the brochure or if it was a
I believe
picture
you
off
can
the
get that on
phone.
the website.
On the website.
I
Okay.
believe you could go to the website.
And Marty wanted to know, so it's not just birds, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You can do any type of animal. You can do plants, you can do fungus, and you can do animal signs like footprints, feathers, nests. You can do all that.
okay. Those are the 2 questions, Susan?
Yep, that's it so far.
Okay. So circling back to the City Nature Challenge, Orange County, we're competing with Volusia County and other counties. And then people are competing too. We're taking advantage of the competitive spirit of naturalists, birders and naturalists. And so this is my page. How you find out who won is you go to community. This is my page on the computer. Pull down, and then you'll come to 2022 and click on that. And then here will be the people who had the most observations. And that is someone we know, wonderful naturalist Jeffrey Gammon. And then who had the most species is Sandy Bauerschmidt, who's a real good plant person, Native Plant Society person. And she's a volunteer at Orlando Wetlands Park. And then the most observed species is the brown anole. And then the whole list of who won in 2022, I was interested in this because I participated really just one day. For part of the time, I was out at the Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive doing the 7th anniversary celebration with my student that I was working with. And we just went around clicking pictures of plants and submitted them. And so I came in 16th. But that just shows that we need a lot more participants, because I didn't do all that much. And if you notice, we know some of these names, these are plant people mostly, because it's easiest to do take the pictures of the plants. And if you already know your plants, then you go from one to another, you keep on trying to get the different species, and that's how you get your species count up, okay? And where should you go? Well, you can certainly do it in your own yard, because the whole purpose of this City Nature Challenge is to document biodiversity in the suburban urban environment. So feel free to do your yard. You might get some things identified, like Kathy was explaining, that you didn't know what they were. And there are many places in Orange County, many parks that you can go to. I included this map from the North Shore Birding Festival because I wanted to show, like, yes, you can go to the Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive. That's in Orange County. The whole thing is in Orange County. Am I correct? Yes. But if you go to the McDonald Canal Pavilion, some of the other entrances to the North Shore, they're in Lake County, so don't do those. What else? Mead Botanical Garden would be a good place if you can take pictures of birds. Kiowa Springs State Park, of course, has all the diversity of wildflowers and all the different kind of organisms. Of course, it might be hard to get in, so calculate all that in your thinking. And then Orlando Wetlands Park will be a great place to go. And Susan pulled up this map from eBird of different hotspots. So you can go to eBird and search for hotspots in Orange County if you're going after the birds. But just to go after plants and other organisms, pretty much almost anywhere within Orange County would be perfect, because we're trying to document biodiversity. And Orange County has the Green Place properties, they're natural lands. And you can just Google Orange County Green Place and you'll pull up this list. And there's not an easy map on the Green Place properties. So you have to go to this parks, Orange County Parks map, and then you can click on them and you'll find which ones, you'll recognize the names of the ones that are the Green Place properties and figure out where they are. So that's what you're going to do Friday through the weekend. Take photos and share May 2nd to 8th, finish uploading observations, and then you have to get them all in by 9 a.m. on the 8th. And then already May 9th, the City Nature Challenge results are announced. And the website, the main website for the whole country and world is this one, just Google City Nature Challenge. And it has a whole educational toolkit Kathy's been using with the schools that she's visiting. And so here are the websites, and I think we're just about done. Do you have any more questions, anybody? It's a lot of fun. It's very easy to just let's see, how can we show them how easy it is on your phone? Let's see. Let me put my camera back on and hold up my phone. Not it's going to work too well. No, it's not.
No.
So at the bottom, at the very bottom is the menu, Explore, Activity, Observe, Me, Projects. So just go to Observe and then you'll pull up the camera. How did you learn it, Kathy? Did you go through a tutorial? Just poking around?
Yeah, I just you can go on the website too and look. I think I just looked it at and just tried it, because you can't do anything really wrong. And don't be afraid about, misidentifying. I think that's what people worry about most, is because that's why this is a community, project where people help each other. The plant people are on there trying to help people with plant IDs, and the insect people are out there, and bird people are out there. So it's fun. And especially you've always wondered about this plant that's growing in your yard, and you can find out, is it native or non-native? And it's okay to post non-native. if it's a cultivated, sometimes like if we were at Lou Gardens and we just see a really interesting plant, and mostly they have their plants identified, but just in case they didn't, you can have a cultivated plant. You just have to mark it. There's a place where you say, is this cultivated or wild? And you can mark it that way. They know, okay, this was, in a gardens, and just that way it's looked at a little differently for biodiversity.
So does anybody have any
Really fun.
questions? Wonder how many people that are listening have already used iNaturalist or downloaded it already. If you haven't, just right after you hang up with us, just go, and like she said, it's easier to make your account on your computer first, and then you'll be able to pull it up on your phone.
So Terry says it has to be photos, right?
You have to have some documentation for your observation.
But
Right.
it can
It
be
doesn't,
sound.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
do sounds, totally, yes, you can do sounds. And they do make some exceptions. If you see something really interesting, you can write a description. It just probably won't get confirmed, but you can get it in there. If it was like a really good description, possibly, I don't know. But yeah, photos are the best, and sound.
And I take just cell phone photos, and they're plants mostly, and they're not very good. But, I'm contributing to science because everywhere I go, I see something in bloom, I try to take it.
And then like Kathy said, you can take a picture of the screen on the back of your camera too, to put it in. If
Yeah.
you don't want to wait and put it in on the computer.
Right. And kind of like eBird, they do want you to go back and fix it later and put the real photo in, but you just really want to know right away, you could do it that way.
And Kathy Weiner pointed out that iNaturalist will automatically recognize the place where she took the picture if you have your location tracking on. So if you take that picture, that's the information's already with the picture, so it goes with it, which is nice. You don't have to fill all that out.
They make it very user friendly. It really is simple. And it's fun if you have children or grandkids, they'll get very into this, especially if you do it with Seek.
Any
Okay.
questions?
Who's going to be out at 12 a.m. today, starting? Bree did mention that observations are coming into the challenge for places that are already past midnight.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I never thought about that because there's 47 countries. So some of them are probably like a full day into it.
Mhm.
Very cool. All right, so let's see. So what's our goal? To beat Volusia County?
Yeah,
Okay.
and other counties in Florida. I'm not sure who else is participating.
Very
And to beat our participant numbered last year, 268 or something.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
guys.
All right. Very good.
Well, thanks. We'll see you next week.
Yep, see you guys next week. And we can see how we did on the nature challenge.
Yeah, we'll give you a little update.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye everybody.